everyone in the woods, every tree that speaks through thee, O God, with glory in the woodland. On the heights is peace, peace, to serve him. No, no!
Why, Karl? Why? No, don't wait for me. I said don't wait. Are you deaf or just dumb? I said no. Damn you. What? When will I what? Come down the mount? Ha ha! When I am transfigured, of course. Drinking, you say? Have I been drinking? Oh yes, sir, I have been drinking, and I will continue till I am good and drunk. To hell with my doctor's orders. To hell with my stinking liver. To hell with my volcanic gut. I'd spew my innards all over this hellhole like one of Napoleon's infamous cannons. Liberté, equalité, fraternité. Viva Enlightenment, Emperor Napoleon. Oh, how I've come to hate that wretched piece. What a fool I was, letting those pompous windbags prune and cut the text like it was a French garden. Excuse me? You say you don't understand me? Oh, that's not new news. No one understands me. Why should an old fool like you be any different? Now go, you master of asses, you Karen. Take your twin nags and go to hell for all I care. Just leave me alone. Pardon? You say you want me to go. Where? Oh, I don't hear well. Deaf as a dead man. Did you say you want me to go? Home? Home? Oh, I have no home. I'm a gypsy, a gentleman of the road, a vagabond. Home? At best I run a boarding house for Alibaba and the 40 thieves, alias my servants. Home? I had an insane asylum for my good-for-nothing nephew who'd rather blow his brains out than deal with his senile uncle. Truth be told, the infamous Beethoven, the creator of so many immortal works, owns no home. He's not only deaf as a doormat and stubborn as a mule, he's damn near poor as a church mouse. And so this so-called master takes orders from the landlords. That is, till I say, the hell with you, storm out, and find myself quite homeless once again.
Yeah, Beethoven, you are no musical genius to me. Just another rotten tenant, that's what you are. You flood the place when you bathe, you howl and scream all hours of the night. By day you bang and clatter on your untuned pianos like some crazy animal. And to top it all off, you scribble on my shutters like an imbecile. Why, people come for miles just to see your chicken scratch. It's a disgrace, that's what it is.
Come again, sir? You want me to, what? Pay you? Ha! Money. It's always about money, isn't it? Well, how much do I owe you? Oh, speak up, you brain ass. How much? Oh, I must be hearing things. Here, write the amount. Here, in this notebook. Good heavens, I got you right the first time. You swindler, you swine. You snake in the grass, why Judas sold Jesus for less than that. Take it. Take all of it. What use have I for money now at the hour of my death? Let them bury me in that field of blood up there. If Potter's field was good enough for Mozart, surely it's good enough for me. Good riddance. Heathen. Take that and that and that and that. To hell with you. To hell with the world. May the devil ride the whole lot of you. Now B, go fetch that damn notebook. You've got sketches for your 10th symphony in there.
Not to mention some highly treasonable things as well. Surely the authorities will hang me by nightfall if they get a hold of it. Stop, 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 stop. For Christ's sake, make it stop. How's a man to think with all those bats and bees and bells besieging my brain?
Surely the next stop's the madhouse.
Rest. I must rest. Yes, dear Lord, your most humble servant needs rest.
Oh God, it's hot. I must be at the gates of hell proper itself. Why, I do believe off in the distance I hear the howling of Cerberus. Off in the horizon, I see the realms of Pluto and the engraved portals forewarning, abandon hope all ye who enter here. Ah yes, Dante, you and I, brothers in exile, left to wander this earth all alone. Oh, woe is me, all right. What's the use? No one understood that piece either.
Chimpanzee, you fat pig, you double ass. During rehearsals, even you cared nothing for the spirit that spoke to me. You only worried about your wretched fiddle. Well, to hell with you. To hell with all musicians. Praise be to God, I can't hear what those organ grinders can't play. I hear the music here, in my heart, where it matters. As for the audience, a pox on the Viennese. They have no understanding for what is true art. Rossini and all those other Italianinis are their true heroes. Belcanto, my shit stinks less than that.
Why let it bother you, B? The Austrian's taste knows from nothing but brown beer, sausages,
and ice cream. For me, for my Maker, for mankind to come. What weighs heavy on my heart must come out, and that alone is why I have written.
You are the generalissimus of high art. Accursed be those troops who have deserted you in your noble cause. If you starved to death up here and vultures feasted upon your remains, who would even care? Your nephew? No, he never wants to see you again. Never, 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 never.
So you want to be a soldier, Karl? But you say my uncle won't let me. Well, be my guest. You want to blow your brains from here to kingdom come? Do it for some noble cause in the name of God or revolution, not just to get even with me. Napoleon fell from grace, and I arose from the dead deified. Wellington's Victory is Beethoven's greatest work. My magnum opus, God forbid. The Battle Symphony, nothing but music for the moment. Crucify me for using my art for some greater good. Hang me for helping our wounded soldiers. Flog me for prostituting my music for the masses. God knows when the war-weary Viennese spirit beckoned, I answered their prayers. Yet I should have known. The masses are turncoats, traitors, false brothers, destined to betray you before the cock crows. Deserters and devils, the whole lot of them.
A wife. If you'd only taken a wife, be at least she'd be on your side. Leonora and Eroica. Blessed be your twin creations. To think your third symphony was conceived as a tribute to Napoleon. And your one and only opera, a gift to Josephine.
Newly widowed and big with child, her fourth. How swiftly she gave birth. How quickly Napoleon moved to abolish the old order. As for me, I struggled with Leonora, the brazen child of my spirit, who proved to be the most difficult of all to bring forth into this world. God, how I worked my fingers to the bone on that overture. And my reward? The curtain rose, and Leonora No. 2 was accompanied by blood-curdling screams and the rat-a-tat-tat of the French army marching through Vienna. With Batarians, my ass, a pack of rabid dogs was more like it. My audiences ran for their lives with Josephine leading the pack. God, how badly mistaken I was about the two of them, and yet, with the whole world upside down, we went on playing to empty houses, or worse, to a theater packed with French officers, buffoons in uniforms, evil pizarros, the whole gang of them. Ban this, censor that, change the name. Leonora Fidelio, a rose is a rose by any other name, you jackasses. Imagine those French pawns expecting me to create art while being led by the notes. Well, I let them have it. In no uncertain terms, I told those blockheads, Beethoven is nobody's puppet, guillotine me if you will, but leave my opera alone.
The gore-bellied critics were by far your worst enemies.
Why, doesn't Herr Beethoven realize the woodwinds can't play that? He needs to revise the libretto, quicken the text, revise it again and again and again and again.
An Italian-style opera.
Written in German.
About a French subject.
Set in Spain.
It is no wonder the whole bloody mess left you with nothing but diarrhea, double deafness, and deaths.
Had Stefan not stepped in to revise the whole damn libretto, God knows what would have become of it. Stefan, that's who I need now. He'll know what I as a father should do.
Ab initio, the von Breunings were dead set against you, taking wholly to yourself, Karl. Time and time again they warned you, the child needs his mother.
I truly believed I could be both mother and father to him. God knows I was that to his father. I regarded Kay as one of my own. I ignored all gossip, all pettiness for the sake of that holy cause.
Perhaps if you'd had a wife to help you.
Damn you! To be alone like this was never my fault, nor was it ever my choice. People say he hates women. Why, just look at what he did to Karl's mother. Shame on him for dragging that poor woman in and out of court for 5 years. The nerve of him to think he had the right to take her own child away. Me? Hate women? Never. Why, I adore them. I've viewed them as great works of art. Goddesses, earth mothers, nymphs, bakshants. Or they'll say he took the advice of his mother, who thrown into his head, never marry. Listen to me, never marry. Never, 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 never. God knows Hannah made a noble V-O-N Beethoven, not a Belgian V-A-N Beethoven. I'd have bitten that bullet all right. Dear God in heaven, was she ever more than a chimera? A she-ghost haunting the very hollows of my heart? Joyously joining together in blessed nights, with tender caresses softly erasing the torment of a gentle soul, our hope, lift me with strength. Josephine.
The horse in the hair market would miss you more than she ever did. But take heart, B. Surely the police would miss you. Who would those treacherous dogs arrest as a vagrant if you stopped roaming their padlocked streets?
And dear, dear Prince Metternich, my beloved despot. I'm sure he would cry for me as well.
Oh, in a heartbeat, that tyrant would have his secret police assassinate you.
If he thought he could get away with it.
Herr Beethoven, one must remember not to speak too loudly.
Or the police will give you lodging for the night.
Perhaps your fans would miss you.
They've all forsaken me.
Your fellow musicians?
They don't even play my symphonies anymore. Too loud, too long, too this, too that.
Why play your solo pieces when they could play their own watered-down little ditties?
Give me courage. Apollo, once upon a time, I truly believed you'd made me one of the immortals. Wrong again. Even in this lifetime, no one cares for me anymore.
Why, they mock and scorn you, call you a madman, a raving maniac.
Why, Herr Beethoven's so crazy, he even tells people he's the bastard son of the King of Prussia. You fools, I only made that up so they'd stop asking about my real father, the King of the Bacchanalia. And money. He's absolutely obsessed with it.
Wrong. One has to have money to obsess about.
Money? I have none. When the inflation wasn't bleeding me dry, the currency changes were putting me in the poorhouse, not to mention my nephew, and his needs, and the custody battle nearly bankrupting me. And the coming and going of my patrons, the prince's royal pains in my ass, all of them. In a nutshell, I'm left with virtually nothing.
How you dread the beginning of long works.
Yes, and rightfully so, for whenever I endeavor to express my exalted emotions through music, I stop myself, convinced no man born of flesh shall ever create anything as worthy as the heavenly images above. When I sit and contemplate God's sky and wonder, I feel my spirit rise toward the constellations, toward that primal source from which all creations flow. Music must first come from above, then mix alchemically with the human heart and soul, lest it remain nothing but notes, body without spirit, noise. Pray formally. Is that why my life is in shambles? Because I'm a fallen Catholic? Because I've worshipped you in the temple of nature and not in a man-made church? Because I practice my own brand of mishmash religion, taking some things from the East, some things from the West, some things from the past, some things from days yet to come? Surely you must realize that everything I composed was a prayer for you, for all mankind. It wasn't just about me. All right. Perhaps in the beginning it was all about me, when I was a young fool and fame and fortune seemed all too fantastic. Perhaps then I was a musical usurer in art, caring only to enrich myself. But that feeling was short-lived. Before long, I could no longer hear the applause heaped upon me. I could no longer lose myself in idle gibble-gabble. With all due humility, my lord, I state that I was one of the greatest piano players of all time, not just today. They said, he plays like no one else. God's blessing bestowed upon the self-taught absolute originality. Surely you must remember how my playing could terrify whole audiences with its power, move grown men to tears. And to think, I made it up as I went along. But all that's gone. Disappeared without a trace, like vanishing fog, like melting snow, like everything I've ever held dear to me. Gone. Dear Lord, I do understand why you wanted me married to my composition. Why you'd allow no adulteress to compete for my affection, Why you wanted me concentrated on creating works that would last for all days, not just for today. Why you taketh away my power to hear the tumultuous yet all too tempting cacophony of this earth. You forced me to turn my ear inward and beyond, to hear your divine orchestra, your heavenly choir, your voice. My deafness and my isolation were blessings after all. More evidence of your mysterious way. Karl, did I fail you like she failed me? Betrayed you, Josephine. I never forsook you. Not even now, when you are no more. I never broke our vow of silence. I will keep our word to death and beyond. Dear God, how many times in this wretched life have I been brought to my knees? Dear Lord, look down upon me and do not let it continue like this much longer. Oh, hear me, dear God, hear me. Where art thou? My muse, my genie, my angel, my all. If I am indeed in hell, where is my Virgil, my Beatrice, my Josephine to guide my way?
Bang, 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 bang!
No, Karl, no, no! Haunted. Haunted. I am a haunted man. For brief moments I may soar above it all in the sphere of my art. Still the low spirits of this earth manage to drag me down again. It's not a couple of notes booing about my head, it's some fragment from the past. A drunken slap, an accolade, a reprimand, the sound of doors slamming, the roar of boxed ears. The sound of my dear mother's voice crying out in the middle of the night, "Johann, no! Please, no, no!" As often as the wind whirls, so do the sounds whirl about me, and so too does it whirl deep within my very soul, this shame. Shame that shadows me, nameless guilt that stalks. Thoughts like thunderstorms, Thoughts like tempests, no, thoughts like tornadoes. Even she is but a phantom that haunts the very depth of my soul. Time and time again, I waxed my ears as to not hear her siren song. Still, I hear it here. Always I'll hear it here. Torturous, by far more torturous are the visions, fantastic images, flashing, flickering, then flaring full force. Ah yes, that is what really plagues me. Drives me to distraction. Drives me to drink. And now my Karl. Add that monstrous moment to all the rest. Peace, dear Lord, peace. Must I wait for the grave to find that? Pray like Brother Willibald taught you. I believe in one true God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth and of all things visible and invisible. How dare you tell everyone my uncle doesn't understand how I feel? The hell I don't.
My uncle knows nothing about love? Damn you, Karl, my music, listen to my music.
How she loved you, yet married the old count. The old count drops dead, so she runs back to you. Before long, her gypsy soul cries out for freedom. No, her damned noble blood hungered for an even grander title. Off she went, gallivanting around Europe, giving birth out of wedlock, then joining in holy matrimony with the baron that begot the bastard. Stop, 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 stop! be or not to be? That, my dear nephew, was always the question. I've never shown these to anyone, but this afternoon I was going to show them to you, but no, you'd have none of me. How you cursed your tongue out at me. You sounded just like your mother, the queen of the night. What a sight you were, laying there, your pig had wrapped in bloody bandages, laying there in your mother's arms like she was the Blessed Virgin, and you, her only begotten son. I had to go back to that slut house right now and kick down the damn door. Let the witch call the damn police. It's not me who's going to jail, Horstmann, it's you. So you were ashamed of me? I embarrassed you all the time? You were sick of my constant checking on you? Sick of my henchman Holt always following you around? You were weary of imprisonment with me? Imprisonment! I had to box your blasphemous ears. Just think of all the time and money I wasted in court to keep you from that harlot you call mother. And this is how you thank me? My heart bleeds for all the music not created because of you, lost forever. You know better than your uncle or your ass of a father, for that matter, ingrates. When I was younger than you, I became both breadwinner and wet nurse to this pair of gutter snipes, so don't think for a minute that I didn't want to crumble under the weight of all that. But I didn't, did I? I did what I had to do. As for you, false son, you can't even handle your own damn school exams, but you have the nerve to tell that fat-ass police magistrate how I tormented you. Did you bother to tell that buffoon uniform how much you tortured me? Just think. Oh, God. Just think of the Catholic Church. You heard what those uniformed buffoons said? Under Austrian code, attempted suicide is a crime against the Church. Damn the Church. It's a crime against God, against your father, against me. To hell with the Catholic Church. When I was a little older than you, Karl, I imagined myself Plutarch writing one of his letter essays. Perhaps I'll destroy it, let them make a god of me. Still, when I'm 6 feet under, I want the world to know the truth, to know the real me, the man who lived and loved and cried and suffered like all mortal men. He was no son of God, no nobleman's child. He was just a man who did what he was destined to do. My biographers, the scholars, the great academics, God forbid that snake Schindler should attempt such a thing. That'll be a great work of fiction, I'm sure. He cast himself as my right arm, my Lord and Savior, instead of another thorn in my side. The hell with Schindler. All my other biographers will argue and write long-winded essays pondering why I wrote to my brother's Karl, and yet left a big blank where your uncle's name should be. Was he crazy? No, I was not crazy. I simply refused to acknowledge the name my brother, the chemist, began using. His middle name, my father's name. Consider it a great blessing that your grandfather, the tyrant, the second-rate tenor, drank himself to death long before you were ever born. As long as there is a breath in my body, I'll never call him that. Never conjure up the ghastly memories that name brings forth. I left all that behind in Bonn and never looked back. In Vienna, I created a new Beethoven. Better a bastard son of a king than a genuine son of Satan. Heiligenstadt and hopelessness. I went there, yonder, not of my own accord, but following the advice of my doctor. Stay through the fall, Ludwig. The quiet, the seclusion, the rest, it will do wonders for your hearing. Dr. Schmidt, kind as you were, your advice brought me to the brink of despair. Day after abridging day, night after elongating night, I stayed in exile in that ramshackled spook house. In daymares, Mozart's spirit roamed the floors, humming his Masonic funeral music. In nightmares, Haydn called me an atheist and scolded me for my continual mistakes in counterpoint. "Oh, get out of here, you old fool! Drop dead, Papa Haydn! I will not make mere musical skeletons for you or for anyone else." In my mind's ear, yes, dear God, in my mind's ear, I can still hear that quartet. Through my music, I can spiral back through time. The century is not yet turned. I am not old. I am not deaf. She is not dead. Yes, for a flash, all that was good can be again. I am no longer surrounded by ruin. I'm once again on the 3rd floor of the house on St. Peter's Place. I'm no longer disgusted with myself, with my lot. No, I'm quite smitten with myself for having just completed my quartet. Bravo, Beethoven! Drenched with sweat after laboring over my C minor quartet all morning, I baptized my steamy head with a pitcher of ice water, put my feet upon my desk, closed my eyes, and pictured that piece being played by a band of gypsies. What fun I had envisioning 3 beautiful gypsy girls dancing around me. A moment later, I hear 3 cackling women, Hungarian accents. They have heavy Hungarian accents. I open my eyes and picture them dressed, not as they were impeccably in the latest fashions of the times, but in some gypsy garb. They look at me like I'm quite mad, and that makes me laugh all the more. Finally, the old shrew speaks. "It is my deepest desire, Herr Beethoven, that you give my daughters, Countess Teresa and Countess Josephine, pianoforte lessons for the first few weeks we are in Vienna." Behind my back, that nervy wench had arranged for her daughter's marriage. It didn't matter that the old coot was old enough to be Josephine's father. It didn't matter that she didn't love him. She was falling in love with me, and I with her. What counted was that he was a count. But he turned out to be a poor one. The best laid plans. Ha! Why did you stay with him, Josephine? Even your mother said get out, so why stay? Because of vows? Vows based on what? Love? No. Because of the children? Hypocrisy. Your false marriage, coupled with my all too real deafness, left me at the brink of suicide. To my brothers Karl and blank Beethoven. Heiligenstadt, October 6th, 1802. O ye who think or declare me to be hostile, morose, and misanthropical, how unjust you are, and how little you know the secret cause of what appears thus to you. My heart and mind were ever from childhood prone to the most tender feelings of affection, and I was always disposed to accomplish something great. But you must remember that 6 years ago I was attacked by an incurable malady, aggravated by unskillful physicians, deluded from year to year too by the hope of relief, and at length forced to the conviction of a lasting affliction, the cure of which may go on for years and perhaps after all prove to be impracticable. Born with a passionate and excitable temperament, keenly susceptible to the pleasures of society, I was yet obliged early in life to isolate myself and pass my existence in solitude. If I at any time resolved to surmount all this, oh, how cruelly was I again repelled by the experience, sadder than ever, of my defective hearing. And yet I found it impossible to say to others, "Speak louder, shout, for I am deaf." Alas, how could I proclaim the deficiency of a sense which ought to have been more perfect with me than with other men? A sense which I once possessed in the highest perfection, to an extent, indeed, that few of my profession ever enjoyed. Alas, I cannot do this.